live streaming.
So, hi everybody, how are you doing? I know that we haven't had a live reading lesson in a long time. We are having in person, writing. We're having in person writing classes every week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. They are at 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock. So, I'm hoping that for some of you, you can get into these writing classes, but because you really have to practice writing to become a good writer. Um, but if not, gonna still have something posted online for you. And tomorrow is the TASC test. I don't know if some of you are scheduled for the exam, but you will see on the TASC test, if you're taking the writing portion, two different types of essays you'll be asked to write. And one is informational and one is argumentative. Okay. So, what we're going to cover today, and it's going to be in depth, it's going to take a little while to air it out, is how to write a good informational essay. I really want to stress this. It's going to take some work. If you all want to write one and email it to me, you are more than welcome to do that. I'm going to show you again where my email is. You need to contact me for any reason. Oh, you know what I did not do? I didn't post the. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna get my life right now, y'all. And I'm laughing because in the midst of chaos, in the midst of upheaval, in the midst of everything going on that's about our control, if we don't keep our heads, if we don't find a way to laugh even at ourselves, then we're not going to make it. So, what I want to show you, because I didn't put anything in classroom, but it will be there. I promise you. I promise you. I just want to show you once again where to find my information. So, for every class that is taught by me, reading, writing, science, and social studies, my contact information is right there in the heading ABC Writing, and I bet you never even noticed it. ABC Writing, Melody Hudson. That's me. Here's my email, melodyhudson.abc@gmail.com. This first number is my cell, my work cell. I have it all the time. That number is 585-514-3840. And then the work phone, look, two. I got three and my own. So this work phone is 585-510-4786. So let's get started. Let me find what they want to talk about right here. So we're going to start with layout. I only want one page at a time. Page one. Okay. So let's start with page one. We are going to be doing, wait a minute, view. I only want to view one page at a time. Can we do this? I don't want read mode. Uh-oh. Actually, that's distracting. Don't want that. View. Um, I only want to look at one page at a time. Oh, Lord. Tell me how to get back from where I was, y'all. Okay, it's like reading a book. Let's start over here. I'm sorry to distract you with my foolishness. Let's start here at the top. So, the task informational guide, the task informational essay requires you to write a short essay based on a prompt. They're going to give you the prompt. You have 45 minutes to complete it. Okay. Your score is based on the clarity or the clearness of your writing, your overall organization. Remember, we start with an introduction, supporting details, at least 3, and then a conclusion. This is 5 different paragraphs, 5 paragraphs at a minimum, okay? And then how you've developed your ideas, how well you construct a sentence, and also your grammar. So this is why we've been working on grammar, these little chunks of words, and how to organize them. So for the informational essay, your thesis, your main idea, is going to be your own plan of action based on the topic, okay, that's provided. And so time management is important because you're going to read 2 passages to relate to the prompt before you can even begin to work on the essay. You're going to read 2 separate essays. So let's look at how much time you should break down that 45 minutes. 2 minutes to read the question prompt, 4 minutes to read essay 1, 4 minutes to read essay 2, 5 minutes to outline your essay. Remember, we've got many different ways to write outlines. We've got the hamburger template. We've got blocks. We've got an ice cream cone with the main idea on the bottom and the supporting details on the top. But remember, you have to have an introduction and a conclusion, right? So outlining your essay, you actually are going to do all this work. You're going to spend 6, 10 minutes before you even write a thing. Okay? There's 6, 10, 15 minutes because you got to outline it. 15 minutes out of the 45 minutes, 1/3 of the time, right? 1/3 of the total amount of time you have has to be to plan your essay. And then 25 minutes to write it and 5 minutes to read it and edit it. So once you've written it, are you like, all right, so boom? No. You're going to have to go back, reread what you wrote. And I know you're in a classroom of people. If you can softly read it, well, you can't really reread it out loud, but reread it line by line. Okay. So listen, if you spend a full 15 minutes analyzing the prompt, which is the question, and then planning your essay, you can write 5 paragraphs in 25 minutes. But you have to be familiar with how an informational and argumentative prompt works and practice one of each. Practice it. So, for those of you taking the test tomorrow, I know you've already been doing this. So, those of you who are planning to take the exam, you're going to work on this. Okay. So, let's look at part 2. And I really want to be able to close this out and not look at it in this way. Um, okay, so now you're gonna write it. The last lesson I gave was on the argumentative essay. So I'm really just rolling through this. If you need to reread it again carefully on your own time, do so. I'm trying to pull out the meat for you. Okay, so the goal is to provide information with your informational essay. So you got to pull details, right? Look for details, supporting details, right? And then the argumentative essay, your thesis or your statement is about the opinion you agree with. And for this one, you're going to take all the information and put it into a recommendation. Okay, so let's look and see what this actually looks like. So when we're writing the argumentative essay, this is how our statement looks. A is the correct position. This is the correct opinion because of B, C, and D, right? Those are our supporting details. But now with this informational essay, we're saying the best plan of action is because of B, C, and D. All right. So let's take a look at what this is going to look like. What you're going to do, you're not going to argue about which position is best, but you will use information from each passage to make a recommendation for a plan of action because of A, B, and C. All right. So what do we have first? Our introductory paragraph. Let's go over here. Oh, okay. So here's a sample coming over here to the left. Here's a sample, and I wish I could get rid of this second page, but we're here on page 1. So here's an sample introductory paragraph to the task. So this is how you're going to say it. Blank is an important concern to society today. One side believes this, they say this, which supports it. And the other side believes that, and they've stated that. However, for this thing that you're writing about, to have a successful outcome, there's only one correct plan of action. The best plan to resolve this issue and provide balance to make it work is because of A, B, C, or 1, 2, 3. So this is what we're going to do in our introduction paragraph. We're going to introduce the topic. We're going to tell the opinions that are in each passage. Remember, you get 2. And then you offer a thesis that brings balance. So how do we make this work? And what? You're giving 3 reasons why your plan is the best plan. So now we're going to paragraphs 2, 3, and 4, which is the body of what you're writing. And this is where you are having your supporting details. The first step in our plan to do this particular thing should be to what? And this is beneficial because why is that helpful? And one piece of evidence from the passage, yes, that is a great way to list your supporting details. One piece of evidence from the passage that supports this is number 1, because of this reason. Another piece of evidence from the passage that supports this, supporting detail number 2. And by taking this first step of whatever this action is, balance can begin to be achieved. I'm going to get more specific for you. So your additional paragraphs could discuss the second and third steps of the plan before moving on to a concluding paragraph that wraps up the essay, wraps it all up, and tells what the ultimate outcome of the plan will be. Okay. I'm going to show you how this makes sense. Make it make sense, Melody. Make it make sense. Now, what we want to use is transition words. You've heard me talk about them first, secondly, thirdly, or the first step, the second step, and the final step. And make it fit for what you're talking about. Then, when you've gotten to your third paragraph, include fourth total, third supporting detail paragraph, fourth paragraph, including the introduction, you're ready to move on to the fifth and final, which is the conclusion. And you're just wrapping it all up, tying it all together, making it make sense. So what I believe is this, this, and this. This is how we'll word it. In conclusion, it's perfectly fine to say in conclusion. Then I know exactly what you've got here. You are ending your statement. So by using this 3-step approach of number 1, number 2, number 3, on the issue of whatever it is you're talking about, a balanced perspective, which means it works because we've considered both sides. It works. It's in balance, right? Each side may not be completely satisfied. This is the best plan because it will achieve the goal. Remember, that is what you're trying to do, is to achieve a certain goal. And so, what is she talking about? Let's look. It could be creating a better community in our schools. It could be fostering curiosity in young people. It could be protecting our environment for generations to come. So, what you're doing is expanding the issue to show that you've got vision, that you understand how it works in the real world. Take it out there. Why should we care about climate change? Because we want our children's children to have a safe place to live where they have food that can grow and clean air to breathe, right? So let them know you understand. So now I'm going to move on to what a oopsie. Let's see, don't say. I'm going to move on to my sample essay. Okay. Let's take a look at what that looks like. And as I said, we're going to run a little bit longer today because I want to outline this. If you don't need this right now, that's fine, but I surely suggest that you start practicing writing. You write these full essays, the only way you can do it. So I'm going to give you a TASC essay question. There's your prompt. This is what it's going to look like right here. Can I make it any bigger? Let's see. There we go. Recent statistics show that Americans owe more in student loans than they do on credit cards. Proponents of student loan forgiveness say that for the American society to build its best future, we should start forgiving substantial amounts of student debt um, racked up by recent college graduates and not recent, and to use more federal financial aid to find new ways to lower this debt burden for future college students. And the statistics are that Black and Brown college students come out of college owing more debt because they don't have the family resources to finance their educations in full. Some people, opponents, say this would be too expensive. College tuition for students is in the trillions. And some people insist that students should accept that huge student loans are a necessary part of securing a well paying job in the future. While many students take on loans and then take jobs that don't allow them to repay this debt because the salaries are not high. If you're in a helping profession, or something like that, a teacher, social worker, you are not going to make the money that it took to finance your education. You'll never have that return. But what you're doing benefits society. So how do we add value to that? Right? So what you have to do next is to read both texts, and this is exactly what this test looks like, and then write an informational essay detailing a plan that a potential college student could use to balance the need for education with the need to be financially responsible. And let me tell you, you can file bankruptcy and eliminate debt for anything else except for student loan. You will carry those till you die. That's not relevant. Well, that's just a little aside. Okay, so before you begin planning and writing, before you got to read both texts in full. You have to read them both. Okay. Where's my anything? There you go. So these are the two texts: student loans pack surprising benefits, and why you probably should not take out loans for college. I'm not going to keep going too much longer, but what I want you to do is to read each text and think about the details you want to use in your essay. Take notes as you read. After you finish reading both passages, plan out your essay. Consider the ideas, the facts, the details, and the examples you want to use. Decide how you're going to introduce your topic. Try to make your opening sentence interesting, something that will get the attention of a reader. And then think about what the main idea will be for each paragraph that you write. So for each paragraph that you write, supporting detail number one, you're going to have a main idea and supporting sentences. You do this by essay, and we also do it by paragraph. You've got 45 minutes. Make sure you have introduced the topic clearly, used information from both passages. You develop your recommendation using facts, details, quotations, and examples. Use transition words, which we just talked about. Use clear language and vocabulary, and then summarize your plan with a concluding paragraph. So, um, this is essay number one, which I want you to read on your own. This is essay number two, which I want you to read on your own. And then use that to practice an essay. And so, what they've also given is a sample response, but try yourself to write before you look at the sample response. And then I want you to analyze that response based on the information from both passages. This is what's considered a good response. Your essays are graded 4, 3, 2, 1. And this is what a 4 essay looks like. So I want you to really dig into this, analyze it. That is your homework, okay? And just take a look and let me know any responses. If you actually write one on your own before looking at the sample response, that is cool. You know where I am. You can email it to me. That's all. So for those of you who have the test tomorrow, I want you to get a good night's sleep, get up early enough to eat some breakfast, bring water with you, bring a little energy bar, granola bar with you, an apple, some cheese and crackers, whatever you need to keep your energy up through the day. And then if you know you've done the best you can, just rest on that. And we are here to help you. If it doesn't go exactly as you desire, we're here to help you. We're going to keep on keeping on, right? So that is it. Have a great day. Best wishes for tomorrow. And that's it, y'all. Take care.